Bonjour, 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 and welcome back to the Waves of Your Soul. Hope you all had some lovely holiday season. I hope you celebrated the way that you saw fit and that you enjoyed some lovely time. If the holiday season was not as happy for you, then know that I'm sending you big hugs and that I hope the year ahead will be much sweeter and much softer for you. As a way to ease myself into this new year, I thought I would start by sharing with you my new decks, the new decks that I got during Christmas, just doing a good old-fashioned haul. It's been a busy month of December for me. If you are new to the channel, I did a whole Vlogmas challenge. I was sharing one video every 2 days, so I posted a lot of content over December, and I took a little break around the holiday season. So I just want to ease myself back into things with something very chill, very cozy, very easy. This is truly the video for the deck lovers out there, so if you want to see what I got for Christmas, then stay tuned. And of course, if you are new here, hi, my name is Marine, I'm a French tarot reader. It's a pleasure to have you. In the description box you'll find all the names of the decks I'm mentioning, you'll find my other social media links and other videos of mine you may want to check out. And without further ado, let's get into this Christmas haul. So I think I've got like 8 or 9 decks to share with you. I will have to count, I can't exactly remember. Some of them are Christmas from others, some of them are Christmas from me to me, because my toxic trait is I buy Christmas treats to myself, and you know what? I don't care. I have a Taurus moon, so giving myself little treats is how I cope through going through life, okay? And I also have a couple of decks I had ordered a while ago that just took ages to come. And actually, let me start with those, because this one actually arrived just after I finished filming my most recent haul, so I haven't managed to share it with you yet, but I have had it for over a month now, and that is the Witchy Magic Tarot. So let me share it with you here. It looks like this. It's an indie deck. It comes in a 2-piece box like this, one of those like drawer slidey thingies, and it is super cute. So I've actually put it back in order because I'm doing a little bit of a study behind the scene. I'm working on like a major arcana theme project, which I won't go into now, but watch out, you'll see it soon enough. But I've already read with this deck a couple of times, and it's truly a good mood deck for me. So the guidebook, first of all, I was very impressed because there's tons of information here. Like, it's quite thick and it's written super small, so you actually have a lot of information for each card. Like, for each card you have general, love and relationship, money and career, health and spirituality, and then you have the same thing for reversed. Again, general, love and relationship, money and career, health and spirituality, both upwards and reverse, meaning both for majors and minors. The only thing is, this is super small. Need a magnifying glass and do it Sherlock Holmes style, which honestly, I kind of wish I had a magnifying glass. It's pretty cool. We need to bring them back, like, they're a vibe. But especially for certain guidebooks such as this one, they're needed. But yeah, very impressed because there's actually a ton of information here. Here are the backs, and the sides are hollow. We love to see it. Hello rainbow, bring some color into my life. I've read with this only a couple of times, so this is truly first impressions. Like, this is not a real review or anything, but I will tell you that this is super cute and that I bought it because it reminded me of Disney. So I actually bought this, I think it was September or August. I had a Kickstarter campaign, I missed it, and then I saw that they had put some decks for order on their website, and so I think, yeah, it was September that I put my order in, and it arrived at the beginning of December, literally just after I filmed my last haul, so I couldn't share it with you guys then, but it's delightful. It's giving absolutely Disney vibes, and for that I love it because I'm a big Disney fan. I love Disney. They're like a comfort watch for me. It's something that I always enjoyed as a child and that I still enjoy now. Like, I love discovering all the new Pixar movie. Last year I went to see Elemental. I loved it. I am so pumped about the fact that they're doing Inside Out 2, because Inside Out is one of my favorite Pixars, It's just like the whole aesthetic, the whole vibe, giving very much like Pixar or Disney. It's very me, and so my inner child is very happy about the look of this deck. It definitely follows the RWS, so even if you're quite new to tarot, you won't have any problem picking this up. Like I said, the guidebook is very good, so you'll have plenty to go off of for there. And in terms of the vibe, it's giving, like I was saying, Disney, but with a little bit of a fantasy twist. Like we have some dragons and we have some fairies and some mermaids, so it's kind of like everything I love, to be honest. It's nothing too serious, it's nothing too major, and sometimes I need that. I need something that's just whimsical and beautiful and cute and that just speaks to my inner child, that I don't need to wreck my brain. This is not the most occult or complicated deck I own at all, but this is the kind of deck I can see myself using for everything, day-to-day readings, like months ahead. When I want a quick, straight to the point answer with something that's cute and that's gonna bring some whimsy, then this is perfect. I'm loving this Page of Wands, one of my significators, so I always like a good Page of Wands. All the knights are very handsome, I'm not gonna lie, especially the Knight of Pentacles. He looks exactly like the knight in Mulan. We need to find him because I'm low-key in love. Look at that. Looks just like Hero in Mulan, and he was my first crush when I was little. So you know what I mean? There's definitely like a Disney vibes to the character. I don't think it's meant to, but it's just giving that sweet aspect to it, adding another layer of whimsy to it. The court cards are really cute, I really like them. I like that the kings are a little bit older and giving like daddy vibes. It's giving a wiser aspect that you wouldn't expect from this deck, and it does come with an extra card, the Queen of Rose. For those of you who know l'Oracle Béline, the Béline Oracle, there's a blue card and it's bringing happiness and luck, and it's like the good luck token of the deck. This is, I think, a similar vibe in this deck. It's like bringing good luck, bringing good fortune. To be honest, I have been leaving that on the side. I don't really use additional cards in my tarot deck. I like the regular system, the traditional system. I'm boring like that. If there's extra cards, I usually leave them out. So I won't be using that, but the rest of it is super cute. And watch out for future readings, because I'm excited to read with this one for you guys. And of course, I'll be sharing more of it in my future monthly favorites, where I share with you all of the decks I've been loving each month. Even though 2023 I wasn't as consistent with them as I wanted to due to health problem and stuff, I'm hoping in 2024 that I'll be able to show up for those monthly favorites every month. More of all of those decks, then tell you how I've been working with them, in what context. Presents from me to me. Okay, let's start with that. So in December, I actually won a giveaway from Salon des Arcanes, which is French-based tarot and oracle shop, mostly indie, but Nicolas does stock some mass market as well. And so I'll leave the link to his shop down below. It's great, he stocks so many awesome decks. I've shopped for him before. He used to be called the Roi de Coupe. If you look back to my past haul videos, you would have seen I've shopped from him pretty much ever since he opened his boutique online. But in December, he was hosting a giveaway on Instagram where we could win free shipping, and I was one of the lucky people to win. I was super excited. I won free shipping, which for me is huge because shipping to Réunion Island can be so expensive. So I decided to treat myself to 2 decks from Nicolas' shop, presents from myself to myself for making it through Vlogmas, because you know what, Vlogmas was intense, it was a lot of work, and I felt like I deserved a little treat after that, so getting free shipping straight after felt like a confirmation. A couple of decks I got from Le Salon des Arcanes thanks to this awesome free shipping win was the Tarot Bot and Wildlands Tarot. So let's look at the Tarot Bot first. I will start by saying I don't actually know if this is still in print, because I feel like I got one of the last copies that Nicolas had on his shop, and this used to be a Kickstarter campaign, and I've not been able to find anything online about potentially them reprinting after the Kickstarter campaign or anything. So this is an indie deck, and it comes with 2 parts. There's a tarot and there's extra oracle cards. I'll show you the oracle cards in a bit. I'll leave them to the side for now, and I'll show you with you the guidebook after, because it's really cool. As the name suggests, this is a tarot inspired by robots, and I actually had seen the Kickstarter. It was back in 2020. At the time, I don't know why I didn't back it. Probably I didn't have the funds, and so I missed it. And ever since then, I was kicking myself because I love sci-fi, and I just kept thinking about this deck, thinking about how cool it was, thinking about the fact that I don't have anything like this, and thinking about just love this idea of mixing robots with tarot. Like, it's super unique and it's very me. Like, I love that shit. So I've been thinking about this deck forever, and then I saw that on Nicolas' shop, Le Salon des Arcanes, he had like a few stocked up, and I think he backed the Kickstarter, and it took a really long time for him to actually get the decks he backed. And so when I ordered this in December, I think I got like one of the very few decks that he had left. It feels like it was a one-off Kickstarter, and I haven't been able to find if the artist of this has actually reprinted this or has any intention of reprinting it, which is such a shame because this is so cool. So this one I've actually been using for the last couple of weeks, and I've been really enjoying. Follow the RWS, you know, there in that sense it's like, I wouldn't say a clone, but it definitely, like, if you know the RWS, you have no problem picking this up, but it does add its own layer of robots and this dystopian futuristic world, which if you've watched my channel before, you know I love me some fantasy and I love me some sci-fi. This is where I feel at home, and this deck has a very strong personality. Like, you would think that robots would be maybe devoid of emotions, but this deck is actually very emotional. The artist has managed to, through robotic faces and robotic outlooks, still convey strong human emotions, which I think is a feat in itself. So it has a beautiful voice. The guidebook is awesome, especially the majors, because they've written poems for each of the majors, both upwards and reverse, and I've been loving reading the guidebook. And I've also really enjoyed the additional oracle cards, which, again, like I said, when there's extra cards in the tarot, I don't mix them in, I keep them separate. But here it's super cool because there's actually a lot of extra cards. I'd say like around 15 extra oracle cards, and I'm actually so pumped for those because they mostly are archetype cards. So we have the demon, the plague doctor. You'll see there's like lighter archetypes and more darker slash shadow archetypes. There's a bit of both, though it does lean a little bit more shadow, like the conman, the demon, the plague doctor. They're not very light archetypes, but there are some lighter ones, like the divine, for example. There's a witch one, but then you also have something like the pit when you fall to the bottom, and you also have the scarecrow. So for me, those are mostly shadow type aspects, archetypes, and I'm so pumped about them because I think they're super clever, super unique, and I've already written down a specific tarot spread to use with just those oracle cards, and then obviously added tarot on top of that and stuff. But they super inspired me. Just those oracle cards right there, they inspired me so much. They really spurred my creativity to the point that I've already designed a specific spread around them that I'm gonna offer on one of my future pick a card readings for you guys. So I'm super pumped about them, and they're actually like part of my favorite part of the deck. For the majors, you have poem. For the minors, you have only little keywords, and same for the added extra cards. It's just keywords, upwards and reversed. But honestly, for the extra cards, I think it's super intuitive. Still in print, I don't really know. I've not found it anywhere, but you might. Here is the name of the creator and of the website, so get in touch with them if you are curious about the deck. There might still be some on the Salon des Arcanes. Again, I'll leave the link to his shop down below. If there is, I'm super happy for you because I'm very glad I finally managed to get my hands on it. The next deck I got, thanks to the free shipping voucher, was the Wildlands Tarot, another indie deck. This is created by Leah Showman from Dark Moon's Crystal. This has actually been on my wishlist for ages because I missed her first. Another one of those that looks like Polaroids. If you know it, please leave the name down below. It's by the same creator, Dark Moon's Crystal. It was in print and then it was out of print as of last year. It's the same kind of shape, like Polaroid shape and stuff. So if you remember the name, please leave it down in the comments because right now brain fog is real. I don't remember, but I missed it and I've been kicking myself ever since. And so when I saw that Nicola was stocking this one new deck from Dark Moon Crystals, I decided to jump on the occasion and to get my hands on it before I miss another one and I want to kick myself in the teeth again. So here are the backs, and as you can tell, the size is very unique. It's Polaroid shape, which was the case with their first deck, which I really like because I don't have anything like this in my collection. Again, it's very unique, and this one is fully based around the travel from the creator to different countries. So in the guidebook they actually will give you the places. It's mostly Egypt, Japan and New Zealand, but there's a couple of other countries that are referenced. This is giving very strong though Japanese and Egyptian vibes, which are both vibes that I really enjoy for me, especially Egyptian style. There's a whole suit based around Egypt, the Ankh suit, which is the replacement for swords. We'll go into it in a bit, and I love Egyptian mythology. One dream travel, it would be to travel to Egypt or to Greece. So of course the whole vibe of Egypt in this deck is what really called out to me. It's something that inspires me. This one is still in order because I've not actually used it. I've been using the tarot bot, been keeping this one to use later on. And as you can see on each card there is the background images. Sometimes it's collage, sometimes it's just one picture, and then you have added like holo accents that relate to the meaning of the card, which I think is really well done. The cards are matte, it feels really good, it's not too thick. The quality in terms of production of it feels really great. So all the suits are the same except from the swords, which are Ankhs, and we'll get into that in a bit. So I think wands are mostly Japanese inspired, and again the guidebook does explain to you where the pictures are from and stuff. And then for the cups, I think it's mostly New Zealand if I'm not mistaken. Images are so beautiful, it's really well done. Very impressed with the production quality, with the ethereal look of it. It feels like you're breathing fresh air when you're flipping through this deck. And here we go. So for the swords we have Ankhs. Most of the Ankh suit is based around Egypt, which of course I'm loving. So I think this is my favorite suit, to be honest, although the pentacle suit is particularly beautiful as well. Essentially one of my most favorite ace of coins I've ever seen. So gorgeous. So I'm excited to read with this. I think this is going to be an air deck. I'll see of course when I put it to good use, but already flipping through the images, looking at it, the energy I'm getting is very air-like. And so I think this could be a great one to work with anything related to like mental blockages, anything that's going on in the head, anything that's going on in the mind. I think that's primarily what I want to use this for. I love the shape, it's square, it's cute, it feels very easy to handle. Even if you have small hands, I think you would really enjoy it because of the shape. It means that it's easier to wrap your hands around it. Beautifully done. Super excited to get to know this one better. Let's move on to an unexpected treat. I went to the bookshop in the month of December, and I was picking up a couple of books I wanted. I was doing some Christmas shopping, and I decided to pick a little deck for myself, for making it through Vlogmas, for making it through the year, and for getting through what had been a very stressful month. I'm not gonna lie, December was not the easiest month for me. So when I saw this deck, which is called l'Oracle de l'amour de soi, which is actually translated to The Oracle of Self-Love by Janet Shui, then it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer that this was gonna come with me, because this is actually a deck I had originally planned to buy indie years ago. I didn't realize that this had been picked up mass market in France, and when I saw it in the bookshop I was like, well, you're coming home with me, it has to happen. So it comes in one of those pouches. It originally was indie, it was sold from Janet directly, and I'm so pumped that this was picked up by a French mass market publisher, because it's awesome. It has been exactly what I've been needing for the end of the year / beginning of the year. This has been my go-to hug deck. I've been reading every day from it, pulling a card every night, and it's been bringing me everything I need. Like, this is absolutely hug deck vibe. It's a do-do deck On each of the card you will have, again, very fantasy inspired but beautiful artwork. You have your main keyword, everything related to self-love, loving yourself, and then you have a message right here. You also have a very detailed guidebook, so if you want to go deeper, you will also have about a page message for each of the cards. Again, written in a very loving, healing, kind way. So here we have be patient, change your environment, liberate yourself from toxicity, dream bigger, forgive and let go, act quickly, create together, remember your objective, reveal your light, stand back up. One of my favorite cards of the deck, so beautiful. This Joan of Arc knight with the horse, so cool. Love everything that is surrounding you, show yourself some grace, affirm your strengths, the art of gratitude. So you get the vibe. The keywords are very healing, but very varied. This is definitely not just a love and light deck, I will say. It touches on lots of different subjects: creativity, gratitude, grief, forgiveness. I love the fact that I don't need to necessarily go into the guidebook. I can just read the messages right here, pull a card, and that's it. So at the end of the day, and I want to give myself a little bit of a hug from the universe. This is perfect, and I adore the artwork, especially on this matte cardstock, which is really nice, by the way. They've done a really good job. It just looks beautiful. Like, there are some cards that are just breathtaking that I would absolutely love as artwork on my walls. Like, love that. And there's a card with a dog. I love dogs, but on top of that, it looks like a little corgi, and I love corgis so much. I don't have one. We just have rescue dogs at home because there's so many rescues in Reunion. But if I had to choose a favorite breed of dog, then corgis would be up there for sure. Because we have dragons and mermaids, but we also have lots of different people, lots of different types of people. I love this one of my favorite cards as well. So it's truly a gorgeous deck. It's so well done, and it's been bringing me everything I've been needing to just give myself a little bit of a reason to live juice right now. I have been actually using it already in a few of my pick a card readings, and you seem to have really enjoyed it. In terms of wrapping up readings and just being like one last message from yourself or from your guides and stuff, it works super well because I've already used it quite a few times in some pick a card readings. I've pulled some cards for friends and stuff, and they all loved it. This is very healing, very sweet, very beautiful, and it retails 26 euros. Honestly, for 44 cards, if you don't mind translating or if you speak French, go for it. You will not be disappointed with this one. Let's move on to Christmas presents. So these are from loved ones, family, friends. I was very spoiled this year. I'm very grateful because I got some awesome decks, and even one surprise that I wasn't expecting at all. So I'll start with the surprise because the other ones, they were like on my wish list. I didn't expect to get them, but they were decks that when my friends or loved ones were like, what do you want? I usually send a list. Here's a list of stuff I would like. You can choose whatever you want from that. We usually do that to make sure that we get something that people like. That's how we roll anyway. And then usually we add little surprises on top. So I'll start with a surprise. That was from my mom. This is a deck that was not on my radar that she surprised me with. And this is L'Oracle de la Nature Sacrée by Holly Wilmeth and Alison Bastien. I'm pretty sure it exists in English as well. So I've got the French version obviously because my mom got it for me, but I'm pretty sure this is existing in English as well, and it's a mass market deck. And this is a plant-based deck, which is one of the reasons why my mom surprised me with this, because she loves plants. Huge tropical garden where she grows tropical plants and plants that we use for teas and infusions, and she has so many orchids, and she grows her own vanilla, and she has a very beautiful green thumb, which I sadly did not really inherit, but I enjoy her garden vicariously through her. It's always a joy to be able to enjoy all the plants that she's growing. So when she saw she was plant-based, she was even more excited to pick it up for me. And this is so beautiful, and it's so unique, and I don't have anything like this in my collection, because as you can see, the plants have been adorned on different people, and we have people from all sorts of body shapes, ages, different ethnicities, and they all have been assigned a plant and each plant has been adorned on them almost as like an ecosystem fusing together. And it's just pure poetry, and I'm so amazed that I've never seen really this deck before, or maybe it's me not paying attention. It's very probable. I mean, there's so many decks coming out, I can't keep up with everything, to be honest. But this was such a great surprise, and what makes me even more excited is that a lot of the plants native, or at least that we can find where I live in Reunion Island, which is not always the case. So for example here, Jacaranda is my favorite tree ever. If you've not seen it, I'll try and remember to leave a picture of it somewhere on the screen right now. It blooms right now in December and December/January, and it makes those amazing huge purple trees. One of my favorite trees in the world we have somewhere I live, and I'm so excited that it's represented here. I've never seen it on any other plant deck that I own. Here we have fennel, eucalyptus is another one, trees that we have tons of where I live. So this creator might be Australian, I'm not sure, but it would make sense because we have quite a few plants that are similar from Australia where I live, even though we also have a lot of plants from Africa. Reunion is kind of like in the Indian Ocean, and it's kind of in the middle between Africa and Australia, so it makes sense we have both types of plants and ecosystem. We have coconut here, love that. So like, as you'll see, there's a lot of plants that I'm not necessarily familiar with, but there are a lot like datura, for example, which I am very familiar with, which I see in all of my walks, which I see in my mom's garden, and which I see in nature here. And for that reason, I'm so pumped because it allows me to work with those particular plants in a deeper way, like aloe vera, one of my favorite plants to work with. Here we use it a lot if you have sunburns, if you have rashes or anything like that. And this deck has tons of cards. It's like over 60, I think. Let me check. 62 cards, so we love that, even better. I think the photography is beautiful. I love the fact that we have lots of different representation. We have both female presenting, male presenting, lots of different ages and skin tones and body types. It's a joy. The guidebook is really well done as well. For each of the cards, you have the name of the plant both here in French and in Latin, and then they will explain to you the plant, what it means, if there's any cultural signification for specific countries, if there's any like healing uses, if they use for teas or the essential oil, or if it's burnt or anything like that. And then you also have affirmations. So this is great not just for like guidance, the personal development and stuff, but also for getting to know plants better. And I'm discovering so much about plants around me through this. My mom also pulled some card from this over Christmas and the holidays, and she loved it. So it's been a nice little like experience that we've been sharing using this deck together, and so for that reason I appreciate it even more. Let's continue with a Christmas gift. So a deck that was on my Christmas wish list and I'm super grateful. Moon Baby Tarot. Oh my god, I'm so excited, you guys. I've been wanting this deck for ages. Again, it was a Kickstarter at the time, and I think this must have been during COVID, because at that time I wasn't really able to back many Kickstarters. There was so many shipping problems and stuff that I kind of like had to give up on Kickstarter for a bit, but I always had my eye on this particular deck. I always wanted it. This is a second edition that came out in 2022, but I think the original Kickstarter was in 2020. I might be wrong. This is from Brant Palazzo, and it's a re-edition, recoloring, rejudging of the Hoi Polloi tarot, which was a deck that came out in the 70s, that is out of print, that is very hard to find, it's very expensive, and so this is a reproduction of this. It's a reinterpretation. I love those sides. Can we talk about this vibe, like the green matching my nails and my ring? It wasn't planned, but I'm here for it. I love those backs. They are super nostalgic to me. There's something about them that reminds me of my grandma's house, who had like wallpapers that was very 70s. And so like I said, this is a reinterpretation or reprinting of the Hoi Polloi. So it's an RWS clone, but it's one of those clones that I really have always wanted, but never been able to find. I mean, like I said, the Hoi Polloi is super expensive. When I saw that this had been picked up and reworked and just everything, like the box, the inside is super cute. They've done a great job. The Paper feels really nice, it's matte, I love the edging, the font that they've changed, but it gives it a little bit more of a 70s touch. I'm honestly preferring this. Like, I don't even want to look for the hoi polloi anymore, because this is satisfying my 70s loving, groovy, wanting soul. So this is perfect. In terms of RWS clone, the only RWS now that I could wish for would be Le Tarot Golden, or the Golden Rider, which was a French deck from the 90s. Very colorful rendition of the RWS. A lot of the skies are giving sunset vibes, and I'm on the hunt for that one, but that's a unicorn deck. I've been on the hunt for it for years, ever since I've started reading tarot, and I probably will be for another long while because it's super expensive. And but you know, I'm biding my time, and I know that when it's meant to come to me, it will. And in the meantime, this is definitely my new favorite RWS. I have the Centennial edition, which I've been enjoying, but that was not colorful enough for me. I realized it was just a bit too pale for me, and I love color. Whereas this is just pure joy. It's giving that 70s groovy vibe. RWS is like period pens for me, okay? I'm gonna get cancelled for saying this, but it's true. RWS are my period pens because they're comfortable. I don't have to think about them. It's like my go-to, whether I feel good or I feel like shit. I know I'm gonna be able to get a reading out of them, that I'm gonna be able to know exactly what it means. I'm gonna be able to understand exactly what's going on, and I don't have to rake my brain or make any effort. So for that reason, this is a very comfortable deck for me. It's a deck I can see myself using for everything. If I was to go on a trip, for example, I could see myself using this because I could read for myself, I could read for others. It's gonna be like a workhorse, and I'm so excited that I have it in my collection. I'm super pumped I got it for Christmas and super grateful. Continue with Christmas, another awesome deck I'm super pumped to get into, that I was very kindly gifted by a friend this time. This is L'Oracle de la Nuit by Alexandra V. Bach and Carol Ann Eskenati. I'm not sure how you're pronouncing that, I hope I didn't butcher it, but this is the French edition of a Lo Scarabeo deck, an oracle deck. In French it's called Oracle de la Nuit, but also in English, so there you go, that's funny. And I think actually the creators might be French, even though this was originally published by Lo Scarabeo in Italian and lots of different languages. I'm pretty sure that the creators are French. Carol Ann is a French expert in tarology. The creator is French. Obviously same people who did the Tarot de la Nuit, which I don't have. Now I've got this one. I'm very tempted to get. And there's a Le Normand de la Nuit, which came out very recently, and which I'm also very tempted to pick up because it's like Pokemon, right? Now you have one, you kind of want them all. One thing I don't like, there is very few cards. That is something that is super annoying. It's the case with all of those Oracle nowadays, all the Lo Scarabeo ones, and from some other publishers as well. Just not enough cards, you guys. Honestly, 30 cards is way too few, but I am still super grateful to have this deck because this had been on my wishlist, and the reason why I really wanted this one is that it's based around fairy tales. And of course, if you guys have watched my recent videos, you know I've been loving working with fairy tales. I even did a fairy tale inspired pick a card reading for Christmas, which if you haven't seen, I'll leave it in the card. It was based around Hansel and Gretel, the whole story. I used the story of Hansel and Gretel and adapted it to create a custom tarot spread to give some guidance. And it wasn't timed to be just for Christmas, it's a timeless reading. So if you want to watch that, I'll leave it in the cards. But I love working with fairy tales so much. I love working with them as a way to distill some knowledge, as a way to create tarot spread around them, as a way to create meditations around them. They're a particularly like world that I've been loving exploring much deeper in 2023. And oh, there we go. Here are my little cuties, Hansel and Gretel, and that I'm super excited to continue exploring. And the guidebook looks really interesting as well. You have a little bit about the story. So here for Scheherazade, you have a little bit about who Scheherazade is, like the 1001 Nights. Very summed up. Obviously, I would recommend if you pull this card that you go and read the story or even just a summary summary of it, and then you have a message about what this card represents. But honestly, I think for myself, I'm gonna be obviously getting to know this deck, reading what the authors has to say, but then I can see myself kind of making my own associations with a lot of those cards, because I already have a lot of those fairy tales I've worked very in depth with all year. I've created my own meanings, I've created my own spreads around them, I've shared some of them on Instagram, and I might decide to continue this in 2024 and create more spreads and stuff for next year. So if you are enjoying that, if you want to see that, if you want to see more spreads or readings dedicated to fairy tales, please leave me a comment and it will help me know if that's of interest to you. I love this. Puss in Boots, probably my favorite fairy tales of all time. I've not actually been able to read with it because my friend just gifted it to me yesterday, so I haven't actually read with this yet. Too excited to not share it with you guys. Okay, last deck in the list, and that was a lot. I've been very blessed. Another mass market goodie. This is Le Tarot du Voyage Lumineux by Jessica Allaire. I don't think it even fits. There you go. So this is another one I got through my mom, and this had been on my wish list, and I'm so excited that she decided to pick this up, because I have a sneaking suspicion that this might not be available for much longer, because I've discovered that the English version is not even printed anymore. So this is obviously it's the French mass market version, but it existed in English from Jessica Allaire. I think in English it was called the Vivid Journey Tarot, and I had been wanting this particular deck for 4 years at this point. It's been on my wish list for ages. I feel like it's not gonna be available much longer. The English version is already out of stock. I don't think it's being reprinted, and so I'm worried that they're also gonna be getting rid of the French version soon. It comes with a beautiful book. For each page we have a full color image, and then we have about 2 pages, and this is really a reinterpretation of the tarot in a very sweet and colorful way. Again, it's inspired by the RWS. It's definitely not the most groundbreaking tarot I own. Like, it doesn't reinvent anything. It doesn't really push me outside of my comfort zone at all. It's purely an RWS reinvention, but ever since I've seen it 5 or 4 years ago, whenever it was, I fell in love with the sweet artwork and the bright colors, and I never picked it up. And then my bookshop never stocked it again, and I was gutted. I missed it. And then when I was able to order from Book Depository, it was out of print, and I was kicking myself like, why didn't I pick it up? It's just sweet. It's another one that I'm pretty sure is gonna be a hug deck. I love the bright colors. This is truly, it's carrying its name well, the Vivid Journey or Le Voyage Lumineux. It's fully colorful with mostly primary colors of like red, yellow, and then a lot of purple. It's just giving very, again, kind of like fairy tale sweet style that really appeals to me right now. I'm in a phase right now where I'm a little tired, I'm a little flared up, the end of the year was rough, I need to gather back my strength, and this is perfect because this is sweet, it's soft, it's giving me a lot of like energy, creativity, but also it's not complicated at all. I can pick it up, I feel like I know how to read this deck. It's gonna be one of those that's gonna feel very comfortable. The artwork feels very sweet and loving and childlike, which is something I feel like I really need right now. I just want soft, healing, sweet, cozy energies at this moment in time, and so this feels perfect because it feels very gentle, and that's what I need right now. I need some gentle times. I'm not a huge fan of the backings, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm missing something here. I can say that it's clouds and stuff, but the almost like clouds parting, but it feels very dark compared to all the yellows and the purples and the reds that are in the actual tarot. So the backings are not my fave, but you know what, I can forgive it. The guidebook is really interesting. I've actually been reading it the last couple of days. It's written in a very like you do you boo kind of way, where the author is very encouraging you to do your own thing, to read the way you want, to make your own interpretation. Everything I love. You know, my favorite saying is you do you boo when I talk about cartomancy and tarot and stuff. I'm all about people doing what they want, engaging in the cards the way they choose. I hate when people are like, you need to do this, or you're a bad tarot reader, or you should do that, or you're a bad tarot reader. Like, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, fuck off, and I click off the video. I hate gatekeeping, I hate anything like that. So when I see books that are written in a very empowering way and in a way where they encourage people to make their own association, to find their own ways to work with the card, that always makes me super happy. So I've been enjoying reading the guidebook for the last couple of days. Again, I don't want to be like the person inciting FOMO or anything, but I'll just let you know that the English version is out of print and that I don't know how long the French version will be in print for. So if you want to pick it up, I would potentially do it sooner rather than later. Okay, my friends, this is it. These were my new decks. Lots of beautiful indie and mass market gets to get into, and I'm very excited to put all these decks to good use. So watch out for future pick a card readings. Like I said, if you want me to do more fairy tale inspired reading now that I've got l'Oracle de la Nuit, let me know in the comments. Watch out for future monthly favorites where I will share more in depth about the decks I use each month. I usually do like mini reviews every time. All those ones today, they were more like first impressions, but I always come back a month or two, sometimes later, to tell you how I've gotten on with the deck, have used it and all of that. So watch out for that. And let me know in the comments if you got any decks for Christmas, then what were they? Have you been enjoying them? What is the deck you've been enjoying lately? Doesn't have to be new, can be an oldie but a goodie. Let me know in the comments, we can just have a good chat. If you've made it this far in the video, then leave me a little smiley emoji. Will let me know you've made it this far, and it will truly make my day. And until my next one, I want to say thank you for being here. I'm super pumped for spending 2024 together. I've got lots of fun things planned. I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!